Unrestricted, unshackled, uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for more mature audiences only.
It's Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Welcome to Miguel and Holly Uncensored. Make sure to listen to our other podcasts. Holly, what other podcasts do we have that people can listen to?
All of them. So if you want to just listen to our whole show, but without the music and the commercials and all that stuff, you can just find Full Show anywhere. You put Miguel and Holly Full Show anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can also find our Blown Off. Like if you just really love Blown Off, you could put Miguel and Holly Blown Off, and those will show up. Other things like that, like Queen City Confessions, and also our Uncensored podcast that you're listening to now, available anywhere. Just, you know what? Type in Miguel and Holly on all the platforms and just see what comes up.
Yeah, spread the word. Tell one person, hey, you listen to podcasts? Or you just getting into podcasts? Well, listen to Miguel and Holly Uncensored, and please leave us a 5-star rating and a review. It really helps us out, and we are on the road to 500 reviews, and once we get to that, then we're going to give away $50 on Venmo somehow. We don't know how, but we'll do it.
I don't know. It's going to be a mystery. It's a mystery.
We'll figure it out.
We love a mystery.
So before we get into anything, I want to address what we talked about this morning on the show.
Yes.
My mom asking her to help me with this LL Cool J interview.
Yes.
Which I love.
Oh my gosh. So there was so much on the air we couldn't say because we literally had like 2 minutes for the bit. So it was like,
Zoom!
out.
That's fine.
I was like, sometimes I listen back to the show and I can like literally hear my brain being like, I don't work this fast. I don't. What are you doing?
We are made to work this fast, Miguel. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
And we do it. We do it. So I told the story on the air this morning that I think it was today's Wednesday. Today's Monday night. Kelvin is when you called me. And you were like, LL Cool J, there's an opportunity to interview him because he's going to be in Charlotte for his Force of Nature tour, where it's basically celebrating hip hop for the past 50 years. And it's going to be really cool. He explains a little bit more. And we're going to put the interview at the end of the podcast today so you can hear the entire thing. But I wanted to sort of just set it up here at the beginning of the podcast to sort of play for you when I called my mom to ask her if she could do the interview with me.
So this is just the setup.
Right. This is just a setup because Kelvin was like, hey, do you want to do it? And I was like, sure. Like, LL Cool J sort of spans the generations. You know, you have like people like my mom who was there from the beginning when he was, burst on the scene in the 80s.
Ladies love Cool James.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I would hear it, all the time. Him and Bobby Brown, I would hear that all the time growing up. And then you have a lot of younger people that only know him as an actor. And I've seen on Twitter where people are like, what? LL Cool J is a rapper? What?
And then I'm like, what? What?
Like, can you imagine someone like him who by the skin of his teeth clawed his way up, to be one of the founders of hip hop.
I know.
And then you have people being like, I just know him from that LA Law Show or whatever it is, or Law and Order or whatever.
Well, that's how I feel about like Ice-T or something.
Queen
like
Latifah.
Yes. They're like,
yes.
oh, she's funny with Steve Martin, not realizing that like she
spit bars.
Yeah.
Like, by the way, really quick side tangent about Queen Latifah. When I was young and Queen Latifah was indeed a singer, a rapper, I was like, in that industry. I remember looking at my mom and I was like, well, what's her name though? And my mom was like, I think it's Queen. And I was like, that's not a name. I was like, that's what she is. She's a queen.
No.
But what is queen? Is her name Latifah? Is it queen? Is she the queen? And if so, what's her last name? And my mom was like, no, that's her name. And I never put it to bed. And as a matter of fact,
do you know what her name is?
I'm actually still not sure.
Dana Owens.
Oh, well, I've learned something right this moment.
Let me just double check that to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that's Queen Latifah's name.
But in fact, to this day, I still don't know if it is supposed to be like Queen is a name or if it's a title and Latifah is the name or the title.
No, it's just Queen Latifah. Listen, when you're a celebrity like that, you can be whatever you want. But I'm
I
sure
wanted an explanation when I was like 10. And my mom was like, that's just her name. And I was
yeah.
like,
Dana Elaine Owens, better known by the stage name Queen Latifah, is an American rapper, actress, and singer. And she's
You
only
understand?
53. Wow.
oh man.
Man, she started, and that's what's so funny. People like her who started in the early 90s,
Yes.
or late 80s. Cause I was on one of my Peloton rides, Ladies Night came up. And this is like the remix from like the mid 90s with like Lil Kim, Missy Elliott, Angie Martinez, a big song on MTV back in like the mid 90s.
Mhm.
And I was looking up DeBrat was on it. And DeBrat is pregnant right now with her wife. And I was like, how old is DeBrat? She was only like 19 when she burst onto the scene. And like I was
she
in middle
so
school.
young.
And so to me, they all seemed like they were like older, like in their 20s or 30s, but they were kids when they started. And it's so crazy. And I'm like, oh, she's still like super young too. It's so crazy when you think about celebrities like that from back in the day and how young they started.
God, they really did. It was real crazy.
All right. So this is and I didn't get a chance to edit this, so it's the podcast.
Yeah.
That's why, like,
Nice.
literally for 10 minutes, I was like, I had something planned to talk about today on the podcast. And then as soon as the intro started, I was like, oh, it was this whole thing with my mom and LL Cool J. And I was like, so bear with it.
You didn't
for
edit
you
it
watching. No. So this is
Oh.
the pure phone call.
Raw.
So you watching, you're gonna just get it raw, and then for you listening, I have edited it down to what I would normally do. So this is when I called my mom about 30 minutes before the interview to say, hey, will you help me interview LL Cool J?
Okay.
Hi, Mom.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. Hot, but I'm good.
Yeah, summertime. All right, real quick, Mom. So just to start off with, outside of Bobby Brown, because I know he is your number one.
I watched this movie again last night.
How many times have you watched it?
I can't tell that. Y'all might think I'm crazy.
All right, so outside of Bobby Brown, from that like 80s to 90s hip hop era, what are the other guys from that time that you back then were like, yes, come on, give it to me?
Let's see. LL. Bobby is it.
Okay. So LL, Mom, how much did you like LL Cool J back in the day and even now?
Is this a podcast or the radio?
Both. Go ahead, say whatever.
Oh no. I like LL because he's like Bobby, always licking them lips.
Well, Mom, I need your help, okay? Holly has a
Okay.
meeting that she has to do. I am interviewing LL Cool J in about 20
the
minutes.
You lying.
I am not. Mom, I need your help. Can you prepare 2 questions to ask LL Cool J?
I'm shaking right now. I can't think. Stop playing, boy.
I'm not playing. I'm not playing. This is serious. I need your help. It was so sweet. And
I love how your mom was like, yeah, hold on. Well, and you know why? The poor woman has been put through the ringer in the duration of this radio career that we've had. So she knows, like, she's like, hold on a minute.
She's like, wait. And so you'll notice that like on the air, I said you get 1 question. So then I was like, all right, Mom, you've got 30 minutes to get your questions together. And so right before LL came on, I was like, all right, give me your questions, tell them to me. And then I'm going to have you put your phone on mute.
Mhm.
So her first question was the one that we played on the air that you'll be able to hear at the end of the podcast. And then the second one, she was like, can I ask him, when you come to Atlanta, can I come backstage to meet you?
Oh my God. Well,
Good
of
for
course
her.
she did.
Good for
Of course
her.
she did.
I said, Mom, that's not a question. You don't want to box someone into a corner.
Yeah.
That makes it awkward for the artist. So
It
you
does.
want to ask them something that you've been curious about. And she was like, I don't want to know nothing else. I just want to know if I can go backstage. And I was like, well, just ask that one question that you did ask.
Yeah.
But it was so sweet, and she was so excited. And like when I hung up the phone with LL, and I guess she has another work phone, and she had like called one of her friends to like listen on speakerphone, and she was like, Teresa, did you hear that? Did you hear LL?
Teresa's like 2 phones away, and she's like, what? Yeah.
Oh, it was so
That's
sweet.
awesome.
So I'm
That's
at the end of
good.
the podcast. For those of you that are watching, you won't hear it unless you go and listen to the podcast later on. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, just type in Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
I love it.
Kelvin, you look very distracted. What's going on?
I've been reading the comments, and I am a little
Don't read the comments. Don't just ignore, because you know
I
what
know.
trolls really love is attention, and we
Oh,
don't want
for
to give
sure.
this person attention.
Well, first I was told that I still look worn out, and then I was
Oh.
like, it annoyed me a little bit, but I was like, whatever, I do look tired. But then I kept reading more, and I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe being called worn out isn't the worst thing
It's
to
not
be
the
called
worst.
in the comments. So
Not today.
that's
Today
why I am
It's
distracted.
just a troll in the comments today. I don't know how. Every now and then, one of these people stumble upon the comment section.
Yeah.
I have to go
Good Lord.
figure that
But
out.
other than that, yes, I'm sorry. I'm back. I'm here. I'm present.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sorry, I just had to look and see because I haven't been paying attention. So I see now.
Yeah.
you know what's funny?
What's funny?
Tell me.
There are because we're not going to address this person. We're not giving him any attention because
Yeah.
whatever. Keep giving us comments. That helps engagement. So thank you.
Actually,
know,
the
that's right.
engagement is going way up right now.
So thank you to the person
not a
commenting on
terrible
Facebook.
thing.
Yeah,
It's
so it's fine.
whatever.
Give us that engagement, girl. What I will die always wondering why, if you don't like someone or something, do you spend the energy giving attention to it? Like, I will never understand that because, like, even if like you don't have a busy day, like there are so many other things you could be doing. Like, ooh, let me go grocery shopping. Let me go check on my Amazon list. Let me go do this. But like to spend time
Yeah.
attacking someone and like, what else could you be doing with that time? And then 2, what are you trying to get out of it? Like, do you think out of all the things in my day that all of a sudden whatever you just said on Facebook is going to make me go, well, guys, better pack it up today, honey.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I have a couple of theories, and one of the theories is that people that talk about you or spend time looking into you or whatever, they don't actually hate you. They actually care an awful lot.
Right.
And I'm not sure, and that's not always the case. Sometimes it is just a hatred that fuels it. But they are somehow like, I think maybe hurt goes a lot longer than just hate, because I feel like, well, maybe not. Okay, I'm having this conversation with my own head right now. So I feel like when someone is hurt, that can turn to hatred, and maybe that's what fuels it, like the anger. But at the anger is a secondary emotion. So
Right.
like, what's it covering up? And that's what I always try to do. Like when I get people that we've seen in comments or whatever, come for people, or in any manner that one might come for someone, I'm like, where did this come from? Because obviously things don't just happen for no reason. There's
Right.
always a reason.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Always a reason. So like, what's the reason? And it wouldn't be like you wouldn't be passionate about it unless it like hits you somewhere deep in your feels.
Right.
And we've had people call the radio show when we're doing the show, angry with us for something that we said that probably was either that obviously we try not to be like, we're not a very controversial, like we're not a very like in your face
Contentious. We're not trying to do
contentious
that.
show.
Yeah.
We're not usually trying to do that. Like usually when someone calls mad, it's because we were stating a personal opinion about something. And the reason they're mad is because it happened to hit home for them.
Correct.
And suddenly the broad, us connecting with a listener over the radio became personal when it felt like they attacked me.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
Or especially a lot of times being or like getting into the conversation halfway through and they missed the first part or they didn't quite hear it because
Right.
it's the morning time. When you're driving, it's loud in your car and you don't hear all the little things, for those of you that maybe listen back to the full show on podcasts and in your earbuds.
Yeah.
Or your AirPods, and you hear every little thing and sound we make underneath. Whereas when you're in a car in the morning, you don't hear everything. And so you'll just hear like a snippet of something. You're like, oh, how dare you?
Holly said she hates children. Wait a minute. We're calling. And then there was, anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I was thinking like, sometimes it's a misunderstanding, but a lot of times it's it's personal because you're already tender about whatever that topic is.
Mm-hmm.
And when even something like reading a survey or something comes across and it just strikes you wrong because it's so personal to you, it feels personal. That's when you often will get people that seek you out and try to say something mean or whatever. So I'm always like, what's the root though? And so I often think that it comes from a place of hurt or insecurity or
absolutely.
something or something shame, surrounded by shame or something like that.
Well, the person has responded. I'm not going to say your name on the podcast and give you credit like that, but they said, or maybe I'm just bored and created a stupid account with a picture of a guy with a watermelon on his head and started posting random weird stuff to post on Facebook Lives. I just don't have anything else to do today. It makes me laugh. Okay.
And it reminds me of the Wendy Williams moment when Omarosa was on her show and she was like, well, Omarosa, thank you for coming on my show. And then the whole crowd clapped. So
I mean, and listen, good for you. If that's
but we also assume this person is an adult.
Oh, that's
right,
true.
Right.
You know who is really tickled by things like that? Kids. Weren't you?
Right.
Yes.
One time we caught oh my God, when I was in the summer between 5th and 6th grade, I had a friend who was very daring. Not me. She taught me how to swear, but could never be me. She would be making these random phone calls to random numbers in the phone book. That was a thing, by the way. We didn't have cell phones.
Yes.
We had a phone book that listed everyone's phone number in the entire city right there, along with their address. It was bonkers. But she would call these random people and she would get her little 5-year-old sister in on it, and it would be does your husband have a penis? Because we wanted to say the word penis. And the woman on the other line would be like, oh my God, please, why? And we'd be like, penis! And we'd hang up. And we were tickled. God, we were tickled. And I loved it. It was so delightful at the time. Now, when I grew up, I was like, God, that was why would I do that? But that's that's a really good thing to do when you're a kid, I guess. Don't do that, by the way.
No, don't. I mean, because what was that the whole thing with what do you call it? The Simpsons back in the day, where Bart would call and I can't even think of just the person would end up they would put the last name and first name when you put it together. It'd be like, is Seymour Butts here?
Yes.
Seymour
And it was
Butts?
but it was really funny at a moment in time for your life, and then later on you're like,
wait, do you think kids still do that? But obviously it's not the phone book because they can just use Google, Google anything, and they're just ooh, here's some things we can randomly call. I mean, because I know during the school year, we'll get phone calls from kids on the bus.
Yes.
And you can just hear them being like, happiness!
I know. So let me leave space for kids being kids, which is what they absolutely do. Well, I was so sad about this, by the way, for a second. So my daughter came home from summer camp yesterday and was saying that there was a girl named Dorothy who is about her age in another group in the same summer camp. And she said the boys in her group were calling her, instead of Dorothy, they were calling her Dorky.
Oh.
And this girl doesn't speak English. I guess she speaks some other language, and she's a little bit bigger. And I was like, I was angry. And then my daughter's like, I didn't know what to do. I'm like, no, I'm not sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, misplaced.
She's like, I'm 9.
I know. And I'm like, well, that was terrible. Don't you agree? She's like, yeah, I said to stop, but like, I don't know. Well, and what can you do? You know, like you can't always take on the bully and be the warrior. I'm like, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just hoping you know it's wrong. So they absolutely are still doing the most sophomoric nonsense.
Yeah, Noah said they for sure still do it. Jason said, yes, they still do it. They did it while I was at a morning brunch at the bar I go to. And then Amy Gordon said, my son and his friends tried to prank me like that at the end of the school year. See, I feel like for me as a parent, there are a few things that I know that are triggers for me that would be hard. And if I had a kid that was like a prankster, I would not like. There are times that because Kelvin is a prankster, and there are times where Kelvin does it, and there's like a split second where my rage comes up, and I have to go tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away.
See, you're doing it though.
You
You're
always
parenting.
giggle though. I don't know. I've never seen the rage.
Oh, it's there. There's always a moment like just earlier today when I was in the kitchen, and he was in there, and then he left. And then when I came around the corner, he was just standing there, and I like got right in his face. And then what did I do? My rage came up, and I just stuck my phone in his face because I'm like, I have quick reactions to stuff, and so like like if you're gonna scare me, don't be within arm's length of anything that I could like strike you with. Yeah, bitch, I'm from Atlanta. Like,
it was like he had a knife in his hand. He went, but with his phone, and I was like,
"What? Were you gonna shank a bitch with it?"
I snap you right between the eyes.
Quick, bitch. I will never get over how you got me on Halloween.
That was one of my greatest feats.
Like that. See, I don't know how you're coming at this topic, Miguel, considering you like to do this to other people.
I know, that's right.
Okay, I like to do it in a set parameter, like when we do Halloween, and I'm like, all right, between October 1 and October 31st, it's a fair game. And I know, but other than that, like when we had a room, my friend Derek lived with us, and I think I've told this story before, and it was in my townhouse, Chateau Oprah, and the laundry was on the 3rd floor where we were. He was on the 1st floor, and I think I was like about to go downstairs, and he was like around the stairs, and then when I was coming up, because it was also the ironing board was right there in the little like landing area.
Mm-hmm.
And he tried to scare me. And my first reaction is he said, boo. And I don't even think. I just grabbed the iron and I was about to swipe him in the face. And he would have gone down a flight of stairs. And I was like, don't fucking scare me on the stairs because you will die. And then I'll probably lose my footing and die as well. Or you'll break my fall.
A lot of death.
Man, I hate getting scared, but I love scaring people.
God,
it's such a thrill. It's such
if you hate it so much, why are you going to do it to other people?
I love it. I love it. It makes me laugh. I love
it. Now we all understand trolls better. It's psychology.
I love it.
No, it's true.
Like I see, that's the thing. Like I don't want it to happen to me. So in turn, this is like faulty programming on my brain. I'm like, if I would not want someone to do it to me, I would not want to do that to someone else because I feel I'm like, I don't want to put you because I know how I would feel and it's terrible. And so I don't want you to feel terrible. So I'm not going to do it.
Right.
And that's like,
my fiance Oscar has banned me. Like he legit gets mad. So I can't. Like it's my favorite.
Well, because like some people don't mind it. Like I feel like Holly, there was that time we first got to Tampa when I would do my like Holly. And
well,
you'd be like,
that was different.
But it was like,
that was different.
Like it was never like I was creeping around the corner, like intention trying to like make you shit your pants. It was always just like, I'm startled.
I was just there's a difference between scaring and startling, and I do miss the startles because who else is gonna be like Holly? I miss it.
You're here tomorrow, so
I know.
Maybe I'll
film a lot of videos.
A scare for October.
I actually have something planned already for Kelvin's our scare wars. Like there's something I saw a while like months ago, and I was like, "Ooh, this will be good for scare wars." And I'm so glad we're talking about this because I have it like put away because, well, I have it put away, and I knew I'd probably forget about it by the time we got there. So I need to make a mental note, put on my calendar, be like, don't forget this item for scare wars.
Oh,
I'm excited.
So wait a minute, is July and you're planning October?
Yes.
Of course you are. course you were. Of course you were.
You took the Halloween mask, by the way.
Did I?
Yes, you still have it. It's probably in your trunk.
Oh.
So thanks.
Well, that's because like at that time, like you and our coworker Ryan would like, because especially at our old place where you couldn't, like, it would be pitch black. And so you couldn't see. So as soon as I would walk in the door, I'm the first person in here. And there was like one time, it was either you or him left the Michael Myers mask just on the ring light. And so it had been there like overnight. And I opened the door and I was like, but then there was like nobody around to be pissed at. So I'm just like hitting the Michael Myers mask.
That's the worst. But it's like nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. Or it is, but like they're not there to get it.
No.
Before they get. And so it's like wasted and just your own heart is about to beat out of your chest.
Literally. Because they had like a stuffed squirrel or something for some reason in the office. And then he would like leave it just right in front of the door of the studio. And then I'd be like, I don't even want to walk inside because it looked scary. Like it was going to attack you, but it was like a stuffed ant, like squirrel or something.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
So there we go. Well, thank you for that topic, person.
I know. That actually ended up being a good topic. I'm glad for that little detour.
Holly, wasn't there something that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, it's so lame though. But I'm like, I'm sorry. I have a platform and it has my damn name on it.
But
so
it's
I'm gonna
real
use
life.
it.
Somebody else could have gone through it.
I hope so, actually. Not because I want you to have suffered like this, because I need to know what to fucking do. So I feel like it's been weeks. It's probably been like a month now. Some of my laundry doesn't smell good. That's the hook and headline right there. The hook, the headline, all of it. Some of my laundry doesn't smell good. Now, this is why it's weird. So like a month ago, my person did all the laundry like he normally does, and even folded it that day because I'll like pitch it and fold and stuff, but he did and folded. And I was putting away I have like a whole bunch of loose, like kind of baggy tank tops that I sleep in. It's also like my around the house gear. Like if I was a golden girl, this is my moo-moo. So this is like, I love them. I have like 20 of these, ranging from like absolutely holes all in them. The fabric is threadbare to like some of them are, yes, I know. Some of them are kind of new, but I just use them to lounge around in all the time.
So Holly, I'm going to ask you for a picture of you in one of these moo-moos because I don't think, did you wear these when we lived together? Or
no,
these are a new thing?
I think they didn't exist when we lived together.
I'm like,
tank tops, they're just tank tops.
Yeah.
They're not I wear little booty shorts with them because,
Because I remember some of the tank tops you would wear like when we would be, watching TV at night.
Kind of like that, I guess.
Okay.
I have a
like that.
one too.
It's like tank tops, but they're a little bit baggier. Like I just have a ton of them. And in fact, I'm coming this weekend. I brought a couple that smell the least bad. Pissed. Anyway, this seems to be an issue with just these tank tops and also a few t-shirts. But it's not just that. There's also a few shirts of my person, like his t-shirts, that have this stank on them. Now, I'm about to be very vulnerable and open, and shame right now is just pouring out of me. So just gently guide me. Okay. So at first I was like, what? I was like, the laundry doesn't smell good. Because usually it smells like the laundry detergent. And I was like, something happened. And my first thought was, this is his fault. I was like, he didn't put the laundry detergent in. I was like, he probably ran the washing machine without the laundry detergent in. And it just washed the stank around in the water. I'm like,
it just got into its fibers.
I'll just redo these. So I'll put the soap in and I'll know that I put the soap in.
Right.
It's really a pleasure being with me. So I did that. And they still smelled like that. I was like, what the hell? So then he was like, watched me do all this very kindly, was like, maybe I didn't put the soap in. He's like, maybe the washer needs to be like cleaned.
Yeah,
like
because sometimes you can buy tablets just to like take it through a cycle to clean it out.
Yeah, and he looked it up and bought like bleach and then ran like a high temperature sanitization run. And we did this whole thing. It had to go like all day. We washed the washer. And I'm like, I'm putting and they were clean. They're clean in my drawer, but they smell like musty, like like the inside of the drawer. In fact, I was smelling one of them and I'm like, ugh, I'm like, smell this. And Maya goes, that's what you smell like. I love that smell.
Oh!
I was like, no. I'm like, maybe, but also no. I don't smell like, I'd like maybe if I'm sweating bad or something. So then I'm like,
smell.
and she did. And so then I go, okay. I'm taking all of these clean shirts, his, mine, all of them that I can find that smell like this weird smell and put them in there. It's a clean washer. I washed that. It still fucking smells like this. I'm so sorry. I'm just really turned up about this because we've tried almost everything. And in my head, I'm like, maybe if it's kind of like me, but it's like stank me. It's like it smells like as if they've been in a drawer for years.
Mm-hmm.
Like not like body odor. Like it smells like
Mildew?
not really mildew, but musty. Also,
Mm.
not the same as if you remember sometimes in Florida, if you don't take your clothes out of the washing machine for a while, they
Yeah.
get that like sour milk smell. It's not
Yeah.
that either.
Hmm.
It's just like it's musty. And so I'm literally at my wit's end. I even told my person last night because I was going through packing for this trip and I'm trying to find just a couple of these tank tops that I can bring that don't stink. And I'm like, I would like got so mad that I was like throwing them on the bed. And I'm like, these are all my favorite shirts. Like,
Ooh.
what am I gonna? I'm like getting emotional about it. I'm like, I can't just throw away all of my comfortable clothes and start new. I don't even know where you get them. One of them is a Shawn Mendes concert tank top. One of them is like St. Pete. What's that vodka that St. Pete makes? Whatever. The vodka brand that's made in St. Pete. One of them is that. One of them is like the Rain Bros shirt that I got for free. Like one of them is one that's my favorite that says just keep moving or whatever. And I'm just like, I can't just how do I get this stank out?
There are a couple of suggestions here.
Mm-hmm.
So these are things that you can just sort of, write on a list and just keep trying them until something works. Ashley said white vinegar in your wash. Tammy says, okay, so if anything was put wet in the dirty clothes, everything that sat around them will smell after washing. Use scent boosters next time you wash them by themselves. That's why any kinds of towels or washings are in a separate basket.
I love scent boosters.
I don't want to do scent boosters because I feel like it adds more chemicals and oil to the clothing and it just keeps piling on. Do you know what I mean? But okay, scent boost. I'm gonna write it down. Okay.
Let's see. We have Felicia said maybe try soaking
in borax.
Borax. I don't know what that is. Or OxyClean.
Is borax isn't borax like a the only reason I know what it is because you use it to make slime. We make a lot of slime in our house. But it's kind of like an all-purpose bleach that can even go on colors. Is that right?
I don't know. I've never heard of it. Richard Sands said borax or baking soda. And Amy saying 1/4 cup borax, 1/4 cup washing soda, not baking soda, 1/2 cup of laundry detergent powder mixed together and put in utility sink or tub with the hottest water possible.
Okay, so I have to do that in the bathtub probably because I don't have a utility tub. Okay.
Yeah, you got a few options.
Yeah, so you can just try, I say, like, write them all down and then just sort of start checking them off.
It's like a science experiment.
Yeah.
I know. And I know that Doe Eyes was like, it's time to toss those tanks. I can't let it go.
You said, girl, let it go. Let it go.
I can't. What am I supposed to wear around my home?
Actual moo-moos.
Like, I'm about to go get some damn moo-moos.
No, it's so funny because I have for probably up until last October, my nighttime outfit was the same. It was my first pair of Lululemon CrossFit shorts that my friend Dan got me back in like 2013, but I had like worked out all the like stretch in them, and so they weren't workout. So I started wearing them right around the time that Abe and I first got together in 2017. And then like a month after we got together, Abe gave me his painting company, Accuracy Painting, one of their tank tops. And so I wore that for years at night. Like if you go back during the pandemic when we used to do TikTok Tuesday, and all of my TikToks just about were in this Accuracy Painting tank top and these gray Lululemon shorts that were a gift years ago.
It was a time.
And then finally, right around the time, probably last fall, was like, because we usually eat dinner, I've showered and I have that on.
Yeah.
After years of like ranch and mayo and salsa and just all these years of wear and tear, I looked over at him as my face is all like greased up in like my like nighttime skin routine. And I was like, I know that you're going to say that I look amazing and that I look lovely. I look like trash. It's time for me to get some new nighttime stuff because I just can't be wearing the same thing if I want to be like, hey, you want to get up on this?
I'm pretty sure you could. I'm pretty sure
with my stain of ranch from 2 years ago that's still there.
Stained.
So
Wash it off.
I used one of my. So now I have my. I think it says Hoochie Daddy on the shorts that are really short.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
And then I have like this Halloween shirt that I wore, but it got a little like fuzzy just from like I washed it with the wrong thing. And it's like super comfortable. And like that's my new like nighttime thing. And
you only have one shirt?
One shirt. But like I do laundry like every other day.
No, see, we do laundry once a week. I gotta have at least like, at least 4 or 5 shirts.
Yeah.
So I have like, and then sometimes if he doesn't get to laundry, then I'm digging into that's why I have like 20 of these tank tops.
Oh my gosh, I know. I just have one. Well, just because we have to do laundry because between him working out and then me working out every day, like I just can't have that like in the I can't.
Yeah.
That's one of the things as a gay man that I've been very cognizant about is that I don't want my house to smell like a locker room.
Yeah.
And I've have some gay friends that are couples that, they don't have a type person like me to be like, we gotta do laundry every other day.
Mm-hmm.
And you walk into their bedroom and it smelled like a straight up locker room.
Text me who.
Text
me who. Not because I like it, because I want to know the tea.
Oh,
ew, bitch.
Because I know that some gay men do like that. That like
I was gonna say that's
musty.
like,
it's a kink.
It's a musk.
Yeah,
it's
a
not
musk.
musk.
I like natural musk,
musk,
but that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So anyway, I'm sorry. I just wanted to rant on that for a minute because I'm like at my wit's end and I'm gonna try some of these soaking things that people are commenting on and whatnot.
You got options.
Also with Amy, she said, then soak for 5 to 6 hours, wring out and wash without detergent.
God, that stresses me out.
That should take the smell out. It's called laundry stripping.
Okay.
And there are recipes online for it. Hope that helps.
I do trust Amy. I just
you get a
I think
discount.
I found the source of it by the way, because I found one of the stinkiest t-shirts and it's my like Heart of Rock and Roll is in Cleveland shirt. And I was like, did I get something waxy or oily on this? And then it tainted the other clothes? Like, I don't know, but we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Yeah, I know.
You said what'd you say, Kelvin?
The tainting.
He said something.
Oh, okay.
Tainted the clothes.
Taint.
Well, that's it for us today.
Yeah.
We're done.
That was good.
Sorry, I feel bad. I know, I really was. I feel bad about it, but I really appreciate it.
Wait, why do you feel bad?
Because I feel like it's so self-serving and just very niche.
No. Everybody does laundry, and that can happen to it happens to a lot of people. We're actually, excuse me, we're going through something kind of similar because in our bathroom in the shower, it's starting to smell a little bit like sewage. And we're like, what the hell? And this is the apartment complex, so we have to like let them know, but shit happens to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of shit happens to everybody, y'all should listen at wait, what time do I have that scheduled for tomorrow on the show? It's gonna be a real good topic. Where did you have an accident?
Yes, that's good.
That came from a Queen City confession that we did this morning, and we asked people, where have you had an accident? And surprisingly, we got a lot of phone calls. So they're going to be calling us back tomorrow morning. We're going to do that at 7:10. And also, too, if you live locally in Charlotte, make sure to join us Friday for our very first live show. Our very first time that we're going to be out of the studio and actually meeting Miguel and Holly fan members. We haven't done anything like this since we've been here.
I know.
It's going to be at the famous Toastery in South Charlotte on Colony Road. You can get all the details on the Miguel and Holly Instagram. And that's going to be on Friday, July 21st, just in case you're time shifting when you listen to this. Mm-hmm. Producer Kelvin, how can people see you on social media?
At Kelvin Live, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. You can click that follow button. And I'm on PlayStation still.
Oh.
Bussy Killer.
Thank you. Holly, what's your social media?
Radio Holly, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Threads. I'm really trying. I'm trying with Threads. We'll see.
And mine.
that's
Oh,
it.
good. That's it.
Yeah,
All right.
that's
Yeah. All right. Radio Holly on
Nothing
Threads.
on Switch.
And mine is Miguel Fuller. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, on Threads as well, and also on Peloton and Be Real. Leave us a review. My interview and my mom helping me out with LL Cool J is right after this.
Miguel and